Hi everyone, it's Carrie, aka Nerdygirlcreates, and welcome back to my channel. It's Friday, and on Fridays, you know what we do. We take a look at some indie books. And this one is something that kept popping up on my Instagram over and over again. It's not a new indie book, but it's something that caught my attention and I became very curious about. So I decided to purchase the first graphic novel, and that is Adventureman, Volume 1. Now, this story focuses on Claire and her son, Tommy. Tommy is this big fan of a character called Adventureman, who is like a superhero in the 1940s. And he's got this team of Adventureman Inc., and each one of them has their own special ability. Well, every book Tommy reads, it ends with Adventureman at the other end of the gun of the villain of the story, the Baron. Don't remember his full name. And it's always frustrated him because he wants to know, did he escape? Did he survive? And his mother, Claire, just kind of says, well, you know, not every story has a happy ending, and blah, blah, blah. Well, Claire happens to have taken over her mother's bookshop after retiring from the police force. I'm sorry, I can't talk today. Police force. And a strange woman walks in and drops off another Adventureman book. Well, one thing leads to another, and the mother and son duo soon find out that Adventureman was not fiction. He's a real guy. So it leads Claire and Tommy to want to investigate what happened to Adventureman. Now, this book is written by Matt Fraction. Yes, that Matt Fraction, the man behind Hawkeye, husband of Kelly Sue DeConnick. And the art is by Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson. And I'm a big fan of Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson's work, especially when they used to do the Wonder Woman comic books. I do like how they draw the female form, and they keep them feminine, but they also make them look very strong and powerful, very curvy. And they do a good job with the art in here. The colors are also really nice. I like the use of more, how can I say this? Almost more antique tones to the colors, like a brownish tint to emphasize the nostalgia around the character of Adventureman because he's from 1940s. And they have this Art Deco designs throughout the book. The art is great. I like the way they design Claire. Now, when it comes to the story, and before I get into this, I must say I have a love-hate relationship with Matt Fraction's work, especially when he was working on Hawkeye. There were moments I liked it, there were moments I despised it. And the minute I noticed his name was attached to this, because I'll be honest, I bought the graphic novel based mostly on the art and the premise. I did not notice the name of the writer until I got it, which is shame on me. But he comes up with this great premise to this story. It kind of, at times, though, feels like he is more writing for a television show or a potential movie or mini-series. It doesn't feel like this was meant to be a comic book. It feels like a rejected script. But there is a really interesting premise as someone who's grown up with movies like The Rocketeer, Phantom, The Shadow. This has a very, very retro feel to it. I like the classic heroes and the modern day fans, you know, trying to find out what happened to these people they admired. I like the character ideas. What I don't like is that, like, this is a graphic novel, and I think it makes up, I forgot how many how many issues of the comic. But I'm reading it and hoping for it to get somewhere, because usually with like comic books, so many issues will at least tie up the first part of the arc and will end with something to intrigue you to continue to read on with the comic, or at least they should. This kind of suddenly goes on, and it's building up, and it's building up, and you're getting to this point at the end, and suddenly it just kind of like, okay, where are we going with this? Am I going to be reading like 3 graphic novels of just build up and never really any... There's not really too much action in this either. There's like a couple of scenes, and look, I get Claire used to be a cop, but there were some scenes in here where it felt like she was suddenly Wonder Woman, like she battling a robot. And she's using her hearing aid device to take it down. Like, is she on that level of intelligence? I know it's kind of established her son is, but it's not really kind of like explained. Another thing that's not fully explained is her family life, because besides being a single mom to Tommy, she has a dad and her mother has passed away, and then she's got a total of 6 sisters, which they all look like they were adopted. I don't know if this is a foster care situation or is this something where they actually adopted different types of kids from around the world. Some of them have disabilities. Some of them, it's kind of like, how does this play into the story? Or are you just trying to show there's kind of like a, I don't know, just kind of like not every family's the same. Which seems to be something they do a lot in these comics lately. They throw something in there and you're just kind of like, well, how does this tie into the story? Or is it just there? The dad, Mr. Connell, looks an awful lot like Adventureman, but old. And I kept sitting there thinking, well, maybe he's Adventureman. Because something starts to happen with Claire as the book continues on. And it's not explained, or at least I might have missed it, why this is suddenly happening to her. And I feel a bit lost. In the stories of Adventureman, he had developed a serum to give people superpowers, but it's kind of confusing because I got the impression they already had them. I didn't know if this was enhancing them, or do they have to keep taking this serum to keep the superpowers? Don't know, because there's a character that's also reappears in modern times who apparently, in my opinion, looks like that person still has their abilities. I'm confused. And I'm confused on how Claire plays into this as well. Yeah, it's disappointing. Because, again, I like the idea of this. It does feel a little too Disney at times. Like I said, it feels like a script, not for a comic book. It feels like something that was meant to be filmed, but instead we're going to make it a comic. But I just kind of feel like there's nothing that's being really given to you to kind of entice you to keep wanting to go with this, because it just kind of like ends with, okay, we're going to go find Adventureman. Well, that's what you've been doing throughout the whole book. I mean, and I don't understand, like, what's happening with Claire. And then the family situation. And they kind of explain what happened in the past a little bit, which is fine because you don't want to give away too much. But I still feel like really lost with this story. Is it just me? Does it get better? Please let me know down below in the comment section. As of right now, I don't know if I recommend this. I mean, the art is great. If you just want to buy this for the art and the hardcover book, because that's also very nice detailed, fine. But story-wise, I just kind of felt let down because I was hoping this would be good. But I can't recommend it right now. So please go ahead, comment down below. Have you read the Adventureman books? Does it improve? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is there anything I should be reviewing? Go ahead, comment down there in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.